We would like to thank the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute for providing the funding for this video. We hope that the information provided will assist those who have been victimized or are struggling with a legal issue. Have you ever wanted to end your marriage, but just did not know the steps to take and did not know where to turn? Maybe you and your spouse married a long time ago and have been separated for many years. You may not even know where your spouse is living. Perhaps you've only been married a short time, but you and your spouse have decided that each of you is better off not being married to each other. Or maybe your spouse is abusive and you want to get away and start a new life. There is hope. You can make a change. In Indiana, everyone has a right to a divorce. As a matter of fact, you can get a divorce even if your spouse does not agree. Indiana is a no-fault divorce state. You can get a divorce if you believe you can no longer live together with your spouse as husband and wife. In Indiana, this means that your marriage is irretrievably broken. Here are some important things to know about filing for divorce in Indiana. You must live in Indiana for 6 months before you can file for divorce. You must file for divorce in the county that you have lived in for the last 3 months. In Indiana, the court will not finalize a divorce if you are pregnant. To start the divorce process, you must file a petition with the court. A petition is a written request to the court, asking the court to do something, in this case, to dissolve your marriage. The petition will contain information that the court will need. This will include when you got married, when you separated, whether you have children together, whether you own any property together, or whether you have any debts together. Once you have filed your divorce petition, your spouse must be given a copy of the petition, as well as another piece of paper called a summons. This is called service. If you and your spouse are getting along, you can give all the paperwork to your spouse. Your spouse can file a waiver of service, which acknowledges under oath that he or she has received a copy of the petition and summons and knows that you are filing for divorce. You can also serve your petition through the sheriff's office or send a copy of the petition by certified mail. If you do not know where your spouse is, you may be able to publish notice in the newspaper. Once you have filed and served your petition, the next step is to wait. Sometimes this is the hardest part. Indiana requires a waiting period of 60 days before a divorce can be finalized. Often a divorce takes much longer. This time can be spent coming to an agreement with your spouse on important matters that you shared as a couple. This can include decisions about children you have together or property that you own. When you have children together or own property or have debts together, it is always a good idea to speak to an attorney so that you understand your specific rights and obligations in these matters. After a period of 60 days has elapsed, a court may finalize your divorce. Most often, a divorce will take longer than 60 days. This is especially true if you have children together or own property together or have debts together. Again, in these cases, please consult an attorney. If you and your spouse agree, you do not need to go to court to finalize your divorce. You and your spouse can sign a document under oath waiving a final hearing and submit your agreement to the court. If the court approves your agreement, your divorce will be finalized. If you and your spouse are not in agreement, there is no need to worry. You can request a hearing in front of a family law judge, and the judge will listen to both you and your spouse and help with these decisions. The judge may order something called mediation to help you come to an agreement. After a final hearing, you will be divorced. Divorce is difficult, but there are things you can do to make the process easier and more congenial for you and your spouse. Indianapolis Legal Aid is here to help you. Please come and see us if you have any questions about getting a divorce or think that you need an attorney. If we can represent you, we do not charge attorney fees. Indianapolis Legal Aid attorneys are ready to speak with you and help you figure out the next step to your new beginning.